try to give her a call again, and then she just added another phone number to the 13-year-old grandson who's possibly with the daughter. Step out with this.
2412.
Veteran crisis hotline's calling in, so they have a female veteran's off her medication. She's at work to Safe Haven. Attacking 12, take a check that one out.
6-1 bullet, 2-1 try to get shot.
Officer still stands for talk? No. Offender in custody?
Temporary.
Thanks. Anyone else close, wait to see result, let me know. Come first standby. 10-4. Take a check that one out.
6-1 bullet, 2-1 try to get shot.
Officer still stands for talk? No. Offender in custody?
Temporary.
Thanks. Anyone else close, wait to see result, let me know.
3-3. I'm going to supervise and follow the application for the rest of
Good evening. Thank you all for joining. Hopefully, this is working. Unfortunately, we're still having the same problems as we were on Friday. So, we're going to try and go through it. I spent all weekend trying to, I don't know, there's some kind of browser issue here. Let me pull this up real quick. Some kind of browser issue. So if you were with us Friday night, I took the stream down because I just wasn't happy with it. Let me know if you can hear me okay, because on Friday, y'all said it sounded like I was underwater or something. So let me know if you can hear me okay. Why do I... There we go. But what was happening is normally I have a bunch of tabs open for things that I want to go through for the show. For some reason, there's some kind of Chrome browser issue with my camera and my microphone. So I spent the whole weekend trying to clean out the computer, kind of do some updates, things like that. And so I was kind of excited, but yet nervous for tonight because it was like, it's a pain in the butt, especially when the camera and the microphone just cut out. So if there's any kind of issues, that's why I'm like 2 minutes late. I was literally going to hit the live button, had all my tabs ready and everything. We're going to be going through a lot tonight, trust me. A lot of reading too. But, it's one of those things where I had everything set up, ready to go. And then right before I was supposed to go live, all of a sudden, camera, you got to restart your browser. So that means I got to close everything out, redo it again. So I apologize if I'm thinking that maybe it's some kind of browser issue with StreamYard. I don't know. None of the other programs that I use kicked me off my camera. So I don't know what it is. They come out with this update with the chat, and I love having it up there. But there's browser issues. So I do apologize if some of the stuff takes me a little bit to get to because of the navigation not being the way it normally is, or if there's any kind of technical issues that come up. So I do want to apologize in advance for that. It's frustrating for me. I'm sure it's frustrating for you too. Now, we are going to be going into a lot of stuff. If you like when I read stuff, guess what? I'm going to be doing a lot of it tonight. What I'm going to be doing is, so when we go back to these interviews, whatever you want to call them, they weren't really press conferences. They were interviews with local news TV stations, with Fry Lanier, throughout November and especially in December. Now, when we were going through and after the arrest and all that, we kind of did a deep dive on all of those different, the press conferences, uh, went through all the little videos. I mean, I have a whole playlist of them, but we're only going to be checking out a couple tonight because I need to refer you guys to back then. I need to take you guys back to December 2022, January 2023, because that is when it really stood out when Fry made the statement that he was switching up the team. And when Fry was also talking about, the different things that were going on when it comes to the investigation, there really wasn't a lot. But the thing is if you really dug into all of those different interviews and press conferences, that's the one day when Fry makes that statement. That was the one day that you could tell he looked a hell of a lot different than he did in all of his other videos. You could tell there was something bothering him. We are humans. We wear our emotions on our sleeves and our faces. And so you could tell something was off. It's you smell that hot dog, you're like, you just get a little hint of it. You're not sure what it is. Now, it's been a couple, 2.5 years since that. A lot of stuff has kind of come out through time. We did our Uncovering the Cover playlist for Idaho 4, where we went into a lot of the connections between the University of Idaho, the frats, the volunteer programs. When I went out there for my 1-year anniversary trip to document everything before the house was going to be demolished, because I knew then it was going to, when the FBI came out there on October 31st, 2023, I was like, oh shit, I got to put aside my fear of getting on a damn plane. I need to fly up to Moscow ASAP, because this house is going to be demoed in the winter break that they were having that year. And I'm glad I did, because I was able to document everything, not only before everything was taken away, but also I was able to document everything because I was there for the 1-year anniversary. I was there for the vigil. I got the exact foliage. I got the exact daylight. I got the exact of everything when it came to how that crime took place, or when that crime took place. And so whenever you look at my footage, just know that's exactly what it looked like the day that the crime took place. Foliage and all. Very important, especially when you're looking at the surroundings and especially the trees. What you can see, what you can't see. But back then is when I started to really start to dig into the connections of the university, the frats, the sororities, the volunteer programs. Yes, the clip-on tie, Rick Allen. Yes. The clip-on tie. That's right. We did those deep dives all the way. And this is going to tie into everything that I'm going to discuss with you tonight. So all of this stuff, these little videos that I've put out for the last 2.5 years, when it comes to these connections and the information and the leaks, I really feel after I get done with this episode that you're going to feel this way too. I really feel, and I felt it since last week. I told you Monday evening is when At least by Monday evening is when we're going to hear of this leak. It's Monday evening. I'm going to discuss and read all of these things to you. And after I read these to you, I really feel like you're going to come to the same conclusion that I did. I really feel like you're going to come to the conclusion that ex-MPD Captain Tyson Barrett has been the main source of the leak, not only to the mainstream media, not only to Shannon Gray, not only to Steve G, not only to Dateline, not only to Bloom, not only to all of these other people. Remember, when I did this video, and if you haven't checked it out, please do. Save it in a playlist. Come on back in a second. We're not going to be digging into it yet, but it's very important when it comes to why the prosecution would greenlight all the leaks. I discuss about the person. It was a finish line. Look, the self-made Patsy. Look, I want to do my part to help y'all out because I was the lead investigator. I was delegated to a minimal role. Didn't even become public until December 19th. And you're going to see the date of the video of Fry telling you what he's telling you with his emotions on his face. Same time. So when it comes to this person from the 13th and the 14th of when the crime took place, on the 13th and 14th, this person was already giving information to mainstream media. So whenever we started seeing those first videos on CBS Good Morning and all these other different videos that popped up the day and the day after, guess who was giving them the information? Ex-MPD Captain Tyson Barrett, who accepted a position working with the students, the University of Idaho, getting real close to President Green, getting real close to all of the students. Ex-MPD Captain Tyson Barrett, who was the same one that got an award in 2023 for being the liaison between the MPD, the university, and the families. You guessed right. Your ex-MPD Captain Tyson Barrett. Like I said, when I go through everything that I'm going to go through tonight, and it's going to be a lot of reading, I definitely suggest anybody, if you're not able to finish it, save it as a playlist, come back to it, because you're going to want to hear everything that I'm going to be reading to you tonight, and that I'm going to be discussing with you, and that I'm going to be showing you too. Because after I was done going through all of this information, it was like that final puzzle piece that just plopped right in there, and I said, holy damn. Of course, this is speculation, alleged, but I'm just saying, when you look at it and you listen to it and you break it all down, I don't know. I really feel like you're going to come across with what I did. Now, I want to share a couple things real quick here. And hopefully this will work, because normally when I have other tabs up with StreamYard, it don't work. All right, so let me switch it up real quick. I want to share this with you guys. All right, so this is when it comes to a fundraiser. I want to share this link with you all here. Let me see here. Let me 1 second. It's not working right. I apologize, y'all. What the hell? It got rid of my. Okay. I don't know. It's weird. All right. So I wanted to share this with you guys. This is the fundraiser for Miss Kernodle. Um, with the different fundraisers that are out there for the different families. It's like I said when this first dropped, I did confirm that this is a real GoFundMe for Miss Kernodle. So I'm going to continue to promote this. So definitely go hit that link and look at that already. The 26K goal, and it's already raised 22,700. And I just want to say thank you, because literally we first shared this, I think it was Wednesday or Thursday. I don't remember what night it was. It was whatever night it dropped. I reached out instantly, wanted to confirm that it was in fact a real GoFundMe because it was set up from somebody else. And it is. And so I wanted to share that. And look at that. That's amazing. 22,700 already for the 26K goal. That is amazing. That is amazing. Also, I do want to share some other news. The Facebook group page, and I know it was already reported, but this is the first time that we're going live, and so if you don't know, there you go. It's back up, so they have that back up as well. But if you've actually, I'm just gonna say this. I mean, look, I don't think anybody should be censored. We were censored for the Luigi Mangione case. When we discussed it, we were censored. I've been censored a couple other times. Of course, it should be about free speech, but at the same time, there's like I said, if you've seen a lot of the messages that the discussions, you know what I'm saying, the things. Listen, we aren't even in trial yet. You know what I mean? Listen, if he's the right person that did it, hey, I'd be saying some even harsher shit. Just being honest, I'd be saying some real harsh shit. Like, I'd be going the F off. Okay. But at the same time, this person's not even in trial yet. We don't. You look at all the shot. We're going to be talking about stuff right now that's going to be talking about a leak. You know what I'm saying? A leak from the beginning. A leak that could have effed this case up with this Dateline BS. And by the way, if you want to check out the Dateline episode, let me see here. We covered it over on Twitch. We can actually cover these programs and watch them in their entirety, full audio, no problems whatsoever. So definitely go check out Twitch, and you can watch we did it live, and then I did an episode with commentary. So you can go see it over there. Even though it gets shut down on YouTube, over on Twitch, we're allowed to do a lot more. So if you don't have that, go hit that link and make sure you follow and sub up too. We'll be having some more sneak peeks coming soon. I only know about the sneak peeks literally like the day of or a day before. Rarely do I know about sneak peeks like ahead of time. So, and with Twitch, you'll always have the notification. And we do stream over there these shows as well. So if any of these shows do get shut down, again, we had one shut down a week and a half ago. You can go watch the full episode over on Twitch, no issue. There's also some new documents that came out as well. when it comes to the jury questionnaire, supplemental response to discovery, uh, more sealed stuff, motion under seal, more sealed stuff. So we're getting there. We're getting there. Yeah, seriously, you guys. Like, I know there's a lot of people that it was crazy here. Let me drop the link for the episode that we. Where is that link? Hold on. Let me get you the link for that episode with the commentary. And then it'll just take you right to the video. It was crazy because when we were doing the sneak peek over there was people that weren't even able to watch it because they were in a different country, and we were streaming it live. So seriously, go hit up Twitch. You can watch when we did it live, the sneak peek. You just go through the video section, and then also you can watch the one with commentary. We got to like break it all down and everything. Unfortunately, there's more restrictions over here. So, yeah, you can watch any of that stuff. I'm telling you, like anything that happens with YouTube, it'll always be on Twitch, you guys. You guys can watch it anytime. What's up, Canada? Shout out. All right, so I wanted to share that with you guys. Now, we're going to get into the topic of the night. Yeah, I couldn't watch it in Costa Rica. Like Twitch, you can go watch it on Twitch. And the cool thing about Twitch, and speaking of, I want to say contribution call out to Kib Kitty. Thank you for the gifted membership. Speaking of memberships, the follow on Twitch is the sub on YouTube, and the sub on Twitch is the membership on YouTube. And so the cool thing is if you have Amazon Prime, Amazon owns Twitch. If you have Amazon Prime, you can literally sub up for free on Twitch, which is like you becoming a member on YouTube. So anytime we do members onlys on YouTube, it's going to sub only on Twitch. Any of these times that we're going to do these live sneak peeks, it's going to be sub only on Twitch. We can't even do it on YouTube. And then after it's sub only on Twitch, then it'll get put out for the public. Still available. So if you don't have Twitch, I definitely suggest that you do get it, because really, if there's any issues with any censorship or anything like that, you don't have to worry about it over there. And it's great. There's like tons more emojis and everything for it too. So it's really cool. Go check it out. All right, so we're going to get into this topic here, and I want to read a couple things for you guys. Let's get that blue line up there. Oh, my thing went away. All right. We're going to start to get into it now. If it ends up taking too long, because there is a lot to go through. There's a lot to go through. But if it ends up taking too long, then we'll have to make a part 2 out of it. Speaking of part 2, because I was working on my computer all weekend, it seems okay so far. Fingers crossed. But I was working on my computer all weekend. We're going to be doing our part 2 of the footage for the green Elantra and the Dodge Dart. Now, we came up with a really big discovery on that first episode. We're going to be going through all of my footage. Like I said before, 90% of my footage has not been published or seen. We're going to be going through it all. And we're going to see how many times we can find this green Elantra, how many times we can find how many times we come across this Dart in the neighborhood, different things. Now, I'm really surprised, to be honest with you, that the whole green Elantra is still dominating the topics, because when we broke down the Dodge Dart, when you look at the breakdown of the Dodge Dart, you see what we already found on that first episode. I'm shocked that I haven't seen anybody digging into the Dart that's at 1119 King Road. And if you don't know why a Dodge Dart, this breaks it down for you. There's a link. You can save it to a playlist. Check it out later. Get it in your history feed. Click on it. Get it in your history feed. Watch the show. Go back to it afterwards. That's why a Dodge Dart. So when you checked out the episode that we just had a few days ago, when it came to that discovery, hey, and no, it's not the same car that was doing the trash. It's not even the same car. All right, so I'm going to read these things when it comes to your ex-MPD Captain Tyson Barrett. We're going to learn about Tyson Barrett. I'm going to read these press releases. Then we're going to go back to Keith Morrison telling you where they're getting their information, how long they've been getting their information, the kind of information that they were getting. Then we're going to hit up the Chief Fry videos that I referenced in the intro. We're going to hit up those Chief Fry videos so I can show you what I was discussing way back then. And then we're going to get into all of the rest of the stuff. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate you very much. Please hit the like if you haven't. It is the free way to help. And thank you all for being here. All right, so I'm going to read this one first. Now, this is November 13th, 2022. City of Moscow homicide victims. Moscow, Idaho, on November 13th, 2022 at 11:58 hours, Moscow Police Department officers responded to a call on King Road for an unconscious individual. Upon arrival, officers discovered 4 individuals who were deceased. Happy Memorial Day to you all, and thank you all if any of you have served. Appreciate you so much. Freedom, baby. These individuals have been identified as Ethan Chapin, 20, Conway, Washington, Madison Mogan, 21, Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, Xana Kernodal, 20, Avondale, Arizona, and Kaylee Consalvas, 21, Rathdrum, Idaho. All 4 victims were students at the University of Idaho. Please respect the privacy of the victims' family, friends, and loved ones as the Moscow Police Department investigates this tragic event. The Moscow Police Department and the City of Moscow is deeply saddened for the families of these individuals, fellow students and friends in our community during this time. Our heartfelt sympathies go out to each and every person affected by this incident. Details are limited in this investigation. Currently, there is no one in custody. Investigators are asking anyone with information related to this incident to contact the Moscow Police Department at 208-882-2677. The Moscow Police Department does not believe there is an ongoing community risk based on information gathered during the preliminary investigation. And most importantly, Captain Tyson Barrett is the case agent for this incident. All press-related inquiries should be directed to Captain Anthony Dollinger, which I told you guys back then he was going to get promoted after Fry retired. That was even when we came up with the Fry clip-on tie. So those 2 names. Now, I'm not going as far as the Dollinger track, but at the same time, when we're going to be discussing what we're discussing tonight, you kind of have to wonder, promotions, again, uncovering the cover. Let me drop that link for you real quick. Let me see here. Because there is a playlist of all sorts of stuff that we kind of broke down when it comes to the... Oh, hey, Audrey's over there on Twitch. Thank you, Audrey. Hold on one second. Yeah, the clip-on tie. Thank you. Watch it over there on Twitch. Hey, if anything shuts down, you know what I mean? If something happens to us, go over to Twitch. You know, we'll still be live rolling over there. But uncovering the cover, that's when we started breaking it down on the year anniversary trip out to Idaho that I did. That's when I started noticing, I started hearing the stories from the community, the students. The connections, the promotions. No wonder there's so many no reports, because that's how they do their thing. They keep the negative info down. They keep the requests up. Everybody ranks up. Everybody gets more money. Everybody gets glorified. So look at this. Captain Dollinger became your chief just a little bit about a year after that took place. All right, the next thing that we're going to read, give me a second. I kind of have to do this slowly just because I'm afraid my camera is going to quit working. All right, so the next thing I'm going to show you is this press release. I need to go full screen. Okay. I'm going to have to read it on something else so I can see all your guys' chats. And thank you all. November 13th, 2022. We just read all of the same information on that other press release. Again, Captain Tyson Barrett is the case agent for this incident and can be reached by phone at 208-882-COPS or by email at tbarrett@ci.moscow.id.us. And just as a heads up, the stuff that we're going to be discussing tonight, this episode might get shut down. I'm just saying. So if it does and it disappears, it's over on Twitch, y'all. I'm a little, yeah. All right. Now, I'm going to show you guys. We're going to go back to what Keith Morrison said because it's very important. Now, I'm not even going to discuss Bloom's part right now when it comes to, this leak, because honestly, up until recently, I thought Bloom, how do I put this? I thought Bloom had more, quote, access, right? I thought Bloom had more access to the inside. But after this Dateline episode, and after hearing what he said on DTS, regarding the Dateline episode, we went through it. He kind of shouted all these other people out. He was glad that he didn't spill any of the secrets, the stuff that didn't come out in the episode. He's glad that he didn't spill any of the stuff he was told. And he was kind of giggly and giddy and shook his tail feathers on camera, But then, all of a sudden, this Dateline stuff, Keith Morrison, you start digging into what Keith Morrison's saying, you're like, wait a minute. You go back to all the times we've discussed about mainstream media from the very beginning. Even Ashley Banfield in a video from a week and a half ago even admitted with Brian Enton that they got burned a few times when it came to stuff that they were being told and they were being reported close to the investigation. One of the victim's ID cards was found in a glove box. Yep. All of this different stuff. Yeah, they got burned. But when it comes to I'm sitting here going, wait a minute, this whole time I thought Bloom was the one that had the special access, the inside access all the time. But not after this Dateline, because when Shane Bishop was getting all the love and then you started listening to Keith Morse, yes, we've been involved from the very beginning with sources close to the investigation. You know, you get that kind of, whoa. Then you start going, wait a minute, Tyson Barrett, hold on a minute. And then you start looking, you start digging in and you're going, whoa. Tyson Barrett has to be the leak. Tyson Barrett has to be the one that was telling Bloom, has to be the one that was telling Dateline, has to be the one that was telling Banfield, has to be the one that was telling Cuomo, has to be the one that was telling all of these mainstream media, has to be the one that was telling Shannon Gray, Steve G, in the community, putting it out there. Again, if you haven't checked out the video of me saying why the prosecution would greenlight it, it goes with it's almost like a prequel to everything that we're getting into. It really is. It's like a prequel. You start sitting there going, whoa, this, and guess what? He's retired. He retired in 2024, last summer. So when it comes to the leak, from the very beginning, putting out information, narrative, because they were putting out a lot of sources close to the investigation. Turned out not true. This person, it was their job. You know what? That's why I have on the thumbnail and the title, Self-Made Patsy. They didn't make him a patsy. He wanted to be the patsy. Why do you think he retired in the summer of 2024? You don't have to say as much when you're retired, do you? All of a sudden, people are getting brought up in the court hearings, testifying. Did we hear Tyson Barrett at all? Did we see Tyson Barrett at all? He was there for the first 2 days, for sure, because he was there longer. He got his role was delegated to something a lot smaller, we'll just say. A lot smaller. But he was the one that was the main go-to at least the first 2 days, and then from beyond, and he was until the middle of December, when Brett Payne became the lead investigator. When do you think Barrett's role was delegated to a smaller role? When Mr. Payne became the lead investigator. So when it comes to that, I'm going to show you guys, I'm going to play the Fry videos first. We're going to switch it up. I'm going to play the Fry videos. So, let me pull it up here. Now, remember, I told you guys, December 19th, is when Brett Payne became the lead investigator. Shannon Gray, December 19th, even tells you who's who. It's like everybody was confused. So remember that date this evening, December 19th. We're going to go to December 10th. I have to show you 3 clips, okay? I'm going to show you the dates. December 10th. I'm going to show you December 16th. And I'm going to show you December 19th, okay? Remember that date, December 19th. We're going to take a trip back to December 10th. And I want you guys to pay attention to Fry's emotions that he's wearing on his face, in his vocals. Look at his eyes. Pay very close attention to these 3, because it's going to be one of these things where it's like, guess what? The ball is under this cup. We're going to be flipping around these different interviews. You will automatically know which one stands way out. Remember December 19th. That's when Brett Payne became the lead. All right, this is December 10th.
Tell us about the weekend. So many people in town. What's happening as far as public safety during this time?
This is a very important weekend for the university. It's our commencement weekend, and we're going to have a lot of officers around. We're going to have a lot of Idaho State Police around. You'll see us both at the commencement.
You see look at how bright. He's bright. He's, you can tell there's nothing wrong. Maybe he had, a moldy bagel or something. It doesn't look like he had a flat tire on his way to work, right? You know what I'm saying? It doesn't look like he had a flat tire on his way to work. He looks bubbly. Look at, especially under the eyes. Pay attention to all these different ones. Look at especially under their eyes. He looks bubbly, right? Bright-eyed, bubbly, yeah.
As well as just around town providing safety.
Where are we at in the investigation right now?
Where we're working steady on the investigation.
See? Where are we at in the I'm still bubbly, and I'm still wearing that same dust pattern clip-on tie.
We're still receiving tips. We're still receiving items in from down at the
Bushy
lab.
Tail, yes.
Things are continuing. We're still pushing forward, and we're at the normal process of investigation. We're still doing a lot of interviews, and I'm talking to a lot of people.
What about the number of people involved at this point?
We still have the same amount of staff.
Same amount. Remember that. Same amount. We're breaking it down.
Idaho State Patrol, our local Moscow Police Department, detectives, and FBI, not only here locally, but still across our nation, across our state.
All right.
Good morning.
We're not going to play that guy. So, this last video, we got him all. He's bushy, he's bright-eyed, he's, like Debbie says, bushy tail, right? All right, now, I'm going to take you to December 16th, okay? This is 3 days before Payne became the lead. Now, it may state otherwise, because you're going to get it in the comment. Well, but Payne said he was within 24 hours and all this other stuff. Listen, go through all the articles. Go through all the statements. The only person that is ever named was Barrett, or it was just dumbed down to a title of a position. The only time that Brett Payne started getting mentioned was December 19th. Check it. Thank you for joining EvilleCJ Media and Investigations. Your support means the world. please hit the like, subscribe, share this out to your socials, and click that bell to make sure you get notified of all upcoming shows. And hot dog steak is on the menu. Details on the screen. All right, here we go. Gosh, man, that was like a horrible time to have that happen too. Give me 1 second. I need to mark this so I can edit it out. So I can edit it out of the live stream so nobody has to deal with that. I apologize. All right. So I got to bring up, hold on. I got to bring up that previous one. Okay. Okay. So I want you guys to see the difference. So again, when I say keep in mind December 19th, right? This was December 10th. That was December 10th. I'm going to show you guys December 19th. And then we're really going to focus on what's said on the 16th before we listen to what's said on the 19th. So here's the 19th. This is the interview that Fry did on the 19th. So you got the 19th. Look at his face. He's bushy-tailed. You got over here, bushy-tailed. But all of a sudden, when it comes to the 16th, the one that I've always referred to from the very beginning, look at this face, ladies and gentlemen. When I said Fry wears his emotions on his face, look at his emotions on December 16th. Just 3 days before Brett Payne becomes lead detective. 3 days before Brett Payne is ever mentioned as being any lead investigator. Now again, we go to the 19th. Bushy-eyed. Look at this. Nice and pep. We go to the 10th. So you guys remember, if you've been here with us from all the way back then, you guys remember this interview because I've always focused on it when it came to something smells like a hot dog steak. Now check out what he says in this clip and what took place just 3 days later. Brett Payne becomes the lead go-to.
Students are returning home for winter break. Does that present challenges for the investigation?
I think it's always a little bit of a challenge. We went through this, right after Thanksgiving and all that, but we have investigators all across.
Right after Thanksgiving, it's 12/16, man. It's 12/16.
The nation. We have investigators all across the state with the state police and the FBI. So we'll adapt to that and we'll continue to do our investigation.
What about investigators? Can they keep up this investigative pace over the holidays?
We will continue to keep up this pace. We're giving individuals time off when they need it. We're augmenting other people into those spots so that the investigation continues, but we're not going to.
We're giving other people time off. And we're implementing other people. What day did what day did your ex-MPD Captain Tyson Barrett take that back seat? December 16th. Between the 10th and the 16th. I wonder why Lanier was the one that did the interviews, because we saw Chief Fry on 12/10. But then we saw Lanier on 12/12. We saw Lanier on 12/13. We didn't have Chief Fry back until the 16th. So between December 10th and December 16th was when Tyson Barrett took that damn back seat. And they were already prepping Brett Payne to be the lead investigator. So when it comes to this question, again, just listen to his words. Listen to his words.
Can they keep up this investigative pace over the holidays? What about investigators? Can they keep up this investigative pace over the holidays?
We will continue to keep up this pace. We're giving individuals time off when they need it. We're augmenting other people. And
you see how watery his eyes got? You see how watery his eyes got? What happens when you're uncomfortable? You're put in a position where you got to answer an uncomfortable question. You're put in a position where you know that you got to say something and you don't want to make sure that you're right. The blood rushes to your head. That's why you get red in the cheeks and red in the head. The glands in your eyes start to create tears to try and cool down your body. Look at his face. He says it. You can see it all over his face.
Off when they need it. We're augmenting other people into those spots so that the investigation continues, but we're not going to stop investigating this.
What kind of progress has been made regarding the search for information about the white Hyundai Elantra?
We have looked at massive amounts of video footage, especially in the critical camera areas, and we looked at the 24 hours prior to and 24 hours after of those, and now we're extending that out even further to other cameras and other time frames.
What kind of manpower does it take to really deal with all of the video coming in and the tips?
We have massive amounts of people looking at this. Multiple different groups looking at the different videos in different locations, just because we have investigators all across the nation that are reviewing these videos for us and sending us back information on that.
Where are we at?
See, there's your next interview where he's back to normal. So again, you go to this one right here.
Students are returning home.
Look at that face. So when I'm talking and bringing up the timeline, this is all important to everything that when it's all put together. December 10th to December 16th. Barrett, bloop. We got to prep Payne. December 19th is when Payne is first mentioned as the lead. And look at how peppy he is right here.
But what we're asking is anybody else who still hasn't sent in a tip, if you own one or if you know somebody who was driving one the day before or the day after, to please send that tip in.
What about the holidays? What does that mean for the investigation and all the people working on it?
That does not change anything for us. We're going to continue to push through the holidays. We have a team that will continue to do the investigation and work on that as we move through the holidays.
And finally, why is it important to keep video digital submissions part of the investigation as it's sorted through?
Well, as our individuals are sorting through that, all that information could be one key piece for this investigation. So they're reviewing all that, they're looking at that, and they're looking for any keys that tie together any specific investigative pieces that we need to solve this case.
Mm-hmm. Bright-eyed. Actually, the hot dog steak was created from the Sebastian Rogers case. If you guys want to see the original hot dog steak, let me just as a little detour for a second. If you guys want to see, where is that? I have it. Hold on one second. Because I had just came across it again. I was like, oh gosh, I forgot about this. Where is it? What the heck? Where is it? Well, if I can't find it, oh, here it is. Okay. Here, let me play this for you guys real quick. This is the first. This is the first hot dog steak. This is where it came from. Hot dog steak means it's fake. It means people can mash a hot dog together and make it look like a steak, throw it on the grill, make it look like a steak. But when you bite it or smell it, that's when you know it's fake. And I smell them a lot earlier. So I always give the heads up on the hot dog steaks, because then eventually people will smell it, or sometimes they their noses are clogged and they have to bite into it, and then they're like, oh my god, that's fake. Check this out. This is
in the week I got that feeling, but if not, we'll keep on doing what we're doing, trying to find Sebastian. It's all about Sebastian Rogers. I cannot wait for this case to be over. You know why? Do you not know why? So I can get a peace of mind, and I can whoop the hell out of CJ. Just saying.
Just slay it.
Anyway, here's what it is, folks. Load it up. Y'all know what to do. Load it up. Turn my green screen green. Can y'all say that without messing up?
That's your original hot dog steak, everybody. So I just came across that again, and yeah, I had to share that. All right, we're gonna get into can't wait to kick CJ's ass. Okay, buddy. All right, we're gonna get into this part of the video, because I want you guys to hear what Keith Morrison has to say when it comes to where they get their information, how long they've been getting their information, what kind of information, and then we're going to do a whole bunch of reading about Mr. Tyson Barrett. And trust me, I really feel after we're done with all of this tonight, you guys are going to come to the same conclusion. I really feel that this is the source, the main source of the leak, and however it filters out to all those different spider webs when it comes to mainstream media, when it comes to attorneys, when it comes to family, even the local narrative. It's all going to lead back to Mr. Barrett. All right, so this is Keith Morrison on East Idaho News. Listen how proud he is, and listen what he says about how long, how much, and everything that they know. They know more than what they even put out in this Dateline episode.
Let's talk about the show tonight, Keith. What can we expect with Dateline?
Well, this is your friend Shane Bishop and I, but mostly Shane.
Susie on Twitch
has been working on this for a long time, since right back at the beginning.
Mm-hmm. Specifically, Shane Bishop. Shane Bishop is the key to unlocking Tyson Barrett's door. Shane Bishop is the key. They tell you, well, we've been working on this for a long time, since right back at the beginning. Who was working on the case right back in the beginning? Give me 1 second. I have to pull it back up because it made my camera disappear, so I had to get rid of all my stuff. This guy. What's up, typically? This guy. Mr. Tyson Barrett. Oh, so we're going to go back to Keith. Because remember, trust me, if you guys are just joining, we just discussed everything up until December 19th when Brett Payne was first initially reported that he was taking part of the investigation and his name was being put out there. Tyson Barrett was the lead, was the one that even got the award. You want to see that real quick? Let me pull that up for you. Let me read this. This is the award that he got for being the liaison between the University of Idaho, the Moscow Police Department, and the victims' families. Here's the award. Okay. Oh, yes. This, trust me, everybody, if you're just joining late, we're an hour and 10 in right now. You're gonna want to watch the beginning. Also, I'm calling this like a prequel video. Why would the prosecution greenlight it? You watch that, then you check out the beginning of this, then you get into this part, and like I'm saying, it's all like boom, boom, laid out. Now let's look at what this says right here. City of Moscow Champs Award, Captain Tyson Barrett. Captain Barrett was awarded the City Higher Achievement by Moscow Public Servants Champs. Exceptional External Customer Service Award. Captain Barrett was assigned as the liaison between the University of Idaho, the police department, and the victims' families during the homicide investigation. Holy hell, CJ. Who'd you say was telling all the people? I said Tyson Barrett was. Holy hell, it's right there. And he got an award for it. He interfaced with the four families daily and provided authorized information about the investigation. Hold up, say that again. He interfaced with the four families daily and provided authorized information about the investigation. Understandably, families were grieving profoundly and were anxious to receive information. Steve G. Settle down, Steve G. When did they tell Steve, settle down? When did they tell Steve to settle down, people? Gosh, this timeline makes sense, don't it? Oh, this timeline makes sense. Understandably, families were grieving profoundly and were anxious to receive information. During his many conversations with them, Captain Barrett was compassionate and professional without compromising the integrity of the investigation. We are very thankful for his service to the University of Idaho campus, our community, and the department. Ladies and gentlemen, this is why I'm saying with everything that I am going to be going through and have already, I'm putting it all in this buffet where you can go pick up some potatoes and you can have some chicken and you can get some ham if you want, some green beans. You can literally pick, and it's all boom, right in there together in the delivery bag, dropped off at your front door. Right here. Now let's go back again to what Mr. Keith Morrison was saying about who they talked to. And again, December 19th. Keep that date in your mind from this point out, December 19th, 2022. That's when this guy right here went this, and Mr. Payne came through. You saw how uncomfortable Mr. Fry was. Between December 10th and December 16th is when that took place. December 16th is when Fry did that uncomfortable. Remember, when Fry did this on this December 16th, yeah, we're going to be switching out people on the investigation. We're going to be implementing other people. Here, we'll just let Fry say it again one more time so you can hear it.
We have investigators all across the state with the state police and the FBI. So we'll adapt to that and we'll continue to do our investigation.
What about investigators? Can they keep up this investigative pace over the holidays?
We will continue to keep up this pace. We're giving individuals time off when they need it.
Oh!
We're augmenting other people into those spots so that the investigation continues, but we're not going to...
Oh, so the investigation continues. Whew. He is such a bad poker player. All right, let's go back to Keith. Let's hear Keith tell you again about this information.
Let's talk about the show tonight, Keith. What can we expect with Dateline?
Well, this is your friend Shane Bishop and I, but mostly Shane, has been working on this for a long time, since right back at the beginning, and has developed. Shane has a list of people who are on the inside who are.
Shane's even got the list. Shane is going to be your mole. Shane has the list. Yes, Mishy girl, mostly Shane. Oh my gosh. This is the thing. You dig into all of this stuff. Oh my gosh, they tell you. They tell you with their own words.
Very good sources about what's happened here.
Yeah, very good sources.
So we're familiar with a good deal of the evidence that the state will bring against Brian Koberger.
They're familiar with the great deal of evidence that the state will bring against Brian Koberger. Shane Bishop, you better start tweeting. Tweet, 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 tweet. You better start singing, buddy. And Mr. Barrett, we found you out. Even though you made it to the finish line of Dateline, you were able to the Dateline episode came out. You probably had a watch party too. You probably had a watch party too, because you were cheering and chinging the glasses. Hey, we made it. They did. Listen, if you make it to December 22, Barrett, sweet. If you make it to June of 23, sweet. If you keep being able to put out the information all the way up until right before trial, Mr. Barrett, you made the finish line. Nobody stopped him. Nobody stopped him. I'm the one telling you right now, this dude is your leak. Yes, he won't get in trouble. He won't get in trouble. The person that gave him the information is going to get in trouble. Who's the person that was giving people information? Oh, from the beginning? Oh, that was Captain Tyson Barrett. Remember? He got an award for being the liaison between the University of Idaho, the police department, and the victims' families during the investigation, and he interfaced with the four families daily and provided authorized information about the investigation. Yes, the one who retired in the summer of 2024. Why haven't we seen Tyson Barrett up on the witness stand? Oh, I can't wait until we're done because it's going to be all broke down, y'all. Just wait. We got a lot of.
His attorney is not speaking yet, but we have, a lot of this material that the prosecution will rely.
That's how you know that it wasn't the defense. That's how you know it wasn't the defense. Against Brian Kohberger, his attorney is not speaking to us. So for anybody that wants to sit there and go, oh, it's the defense. Dude's even telling you. They've been working with the investigators since the beginning, the ones that, the list. And then he's also telling you that their attorneys aren't talking to them. Hello? I don't understand how people come to some of the conclusions they come to. Honestly. I don't. Right here. The guy that did the program is telling you who told him what and who didn't.
Yeah, but we have...
I don't know what to tell you.
A lot of this material that the prosecution will rely on, I think, to try and. I don't know. I don't know. We can't say that we have it all, but we have a lot of it. And we
can't say that they have it all, but they have a lot of it. They know way more than what they put out. That is a lot of material. They know way more than what they put out for this Dateline. That's why I'm saying Shane is going to get pressured. Hopefully, it was Shane. It wasn't. Was it your fault to put the information out there when you knew it was under a gag order? Listen, if you're doing the work that we do, we have information that we don't put out to the public because if we get information and there's an investigation, we do the right thing and turn it over to whatever agency, and you guys don't ever hear a peep about it because it's respecting the investigation. It's about the justice and the truth for the victim. And when you put information out there that is supposed to be sealed, that the general public is not supposed to know, you are not doing your part when it comes to making sure that those victims, families, and communities get the real truth and justice because you fucked it up. Shane knew better. Keith Morrison knew better. Howard Bloom knew better. So for any of those people to co-sign off on it, to hit the green light, especially Shane Bishop is not going to hit the green light unless he's given the green light because it is career unalivened. If you put out some information like that and you don't have the okay from the person that gave you that information, it ruins your credibility and good luck trying to find a job after that. That's why I'm saying the person that was leaking the information, the guy that has his name on our banner down there, is the same guy that gave the green light. And why did he get the green light? I'm telling you, you're going to want to check that video out too. It's the prequel to this episode. Shane hasn't tweeted since May 13th. It's about to come out. We showed you what kind of pop is in. Listen, we have the glass bottle. We can see what kind of pop is inside. You just put all of these puzzle pieces together and you're like, holy shit, this is it. So that's Mr. Morrison discussing everything that they know.
Almost have a timeline of his movements and the movements of the killer, whether it was him or not.
They even have the timeline and evidence, and he says, even if it was him or not, that means that he didn't know if it was Brian Kohberger or not, but he saw the data and the evidence that shows the person that did commit the crime did what he just said. Do you see what I'm saying? They are given access to so much information. When you watch that Dateline episode, if you didn't get to watch it, you can go watch it over on Twitch. Full access, all audio, the whole episode from beginning to end, commentary and all. Just search the video section and you can check it out and watch it for yourself. We might even have another watch party watching it again after this Tyson Barrett stuff. Just saying. So when you're thinking about Tyson Barrett and you're listening to the stuff about mainstream media, Banfield, Cuomo from 2022, 2023, all of the stuff that was getting fed to mainstream media, all of the stuff. Steve, settle down. When did that take place, you guys? Oh, in middle and December, the same time period where they switched up the lead investigator, the same time period where Steve started getting a whole bunch of extra information. Because remember, before they had to tell Steve, hey, Steve, calm down. Before they had to tell Steve was the one that was dropping stuff. Steve was the one that was telling us about the grub truck. Steve was the one that was telling us about all of these different things, the phone calls, right? And then all of a sudden, what happens? We got to switch it up. All right, you become the lead investigator, Payne, because this is why Payne became the lead investigator. Because when you look at the years of service compared to Tyson Barrett and Brett Payne at the time of the crime, Tyson Barrett had 25 years of service and Brett Payne only had 5. Why would they take the person that was the lead investigator, the one that was the liaison, the one that was all of this stuff, worked for the University of Idaho? He was the one he worked with Vandal Care. He was in cahoots with Blaine Eccles. He was in cahoots with President Green. He was out there, and I want to say shout out to Caddy. Check out this picture. The dude was literally standing in the university windows watching the students. Shout out to Caddy for this picture. Look at how creepy this shit is. It was his job to watch the students during the time that the crime took place. It was his job. He was so intermingled with the university and the students. Why wouldn't he be the liaison between the university, the PD, and the victims' families? Because he was perfect for it. So if he was perfect for it, why in the hell did you remove him and give it to Brett Payne? Oh, I know why. Because you had to calm down Steve G. How do you calm down Steve G? You give him information that the public don't know, so he feels important to the case. So he shuts the hell up. Who's the one that's going to be the one that can give him the information? Who's the one that he's going to trust? Who is Steve G going to trust? He's going to trust this guy right here. This guy became the self-made Patsy the same time that they promoted Brett Payne to lead investigator, the same time Fry is all uncomfortable on his news clip, looking like he just ain't slept for days. The same time period when they told Steve G, settle down. Tyson Barrett, I can tell the families, I can continue to tell mainstream media, I can continue to keep creating this web that gets bigger over time of all of the people that I'm spreading this information to. And that's 2.5 years. is a long, humongous network, because as your days go on and you're not getting checked, it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Who can literally take the fall? Think about it. Who's retired? Who's not on Brett Payne's Exhibit A? Who's not even mentioned? This guy. Who can take the fall for putting out the information if it ever gets to that point and it not hinder things barely at all? This guy right here. Your ex-PD, Captain Tyson Barrett. The one that even got an award in 2023 for his exceptional external customer service, being the liaison between the University of Idaho, the police department, and the victims' families, interfaced with the families' daily provided authorized information, because they're not going to tell you information, because then they got to say authorized. Oh, don't look this way. Oh, we're looking this way. Trust us. All right. So now let me get into some stuff, and we're going to learn a little more about Mr. Barrett this evening. Thank you all for being here. Please hit the like if you haven't yet. It is the free way. And if you're just joining, trust you're going to want to go from the beginning of the episode. There's about a 10-minute technical hiccup, maybe 5 minutes. Just skip it ahead just a skosh, and trust me, you're going to want to check all of this out, because really, when you're listening and you're digging in with all of this information, you can do all of your own. More than welcome. Trust me, there's so much. Make sure you watch this too. It'll all make sense. And I really have a feeling it's going to be another freeze. We called the demo. We called Fry retiring. We called Dollinger becoming the chief. I already called for John Judge getting booted. We're already calling for Thompson, going to be retiring soon. I'm saying right now, we're going to find out that this guy right here was the leak. Guarantee it. But again, speculation, alleged, of course. Check out this little news clip here real quick. Hold on 1 second. This is some Cuomo, and this was back from December 19th, 2022. So remember, ever since the beginning of the show, I said, remember December 19th, 2022, right? Remember, check this out.
Now we've got the full video where two of the victims, Kaylee and Maddie, were walking with the infamous guy in a hoodie they call Adam. I guess technically it's not fair to call him infamous, but the guy in the hoodie that they say has been cleared, we don't understand why. Here to help us figure this out is Kaylee Gonsalves's family attorney, Shannon Gray. Counselor, thank you for being back.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you all for being here.
Let me play this new piece of video.
Remember, December 19th. And please, if you guys just joined, you definitely want to check it out from the beginning. Everything that I'm discussing now is led up from that. It's all, I'm telling you guys, this dude has to be the leak. I don't know anybody else it can be. Here.
Now, do you think they're talking about the guy they're walking with, or they're talking about somebody else named Adam, and they're referring to some conversation with that guy, right?
We had seen the video. The family had seen the video over a week ago, probably. that appears to be video that was before the food cart video that came out. The person they're walking with is the same person I think that was at the food court, behind them at the food court. And Adam, I believe, was just, the way that I understand it, Adam is just a bartender at the corner bar that where they had just been. So I think it's pretty simple.
So that was just some extraneous reference. But this guy that enters the picture, and he's there with them again at the food truck, he was very quickly cleared. You're okay with that decision?
Well, I mean, the reality of the situation is that you have to try to trust the investigation. You know, they've made a lot of decisions about potential people that they might be interested in and clearing them. And I think we all know that the idea that you might clear someone initially and then maybe gather evidence later on and might revisit that person is always open to an investigation. So as of right now, it sounds like they've cleared that individual. And that's really the only information that we have.
But good point. Being cleared means nothing. And sometimes it is used as a tactic. You're right. Now that goes to a level of savvy by investigators. The man running this case is relatively young, is he not?
Yeah, it's my understanding that when we went into the meeting on Monday, the investigators were there, the two lead investigators. One of them identified himself as, I think, an officer, Brett Payne, and the other one was an Idaho State Trooper, an Officer Gilbertson.
See, so right there, they tell you Brett Payne. Remember when they said, Steve, settle down, settle down. All this other switch. You see how we keep going back to December 19th? I believe he's fairly young. It's like the first time they heard about Brett Payne. It's the first time we heard about Brett Payne, December 19th. All right, now, let me bring this up. And I apologize if there's some kind of bugginess that's going on. So now this is December 2nd. All right. Hold on. No, this is from earlier. This is Captain Vandal Protects Community. Guess who's in the photo? Mr. Tyson Barrett. University of Idaho's campus captain of the Moscow Police Department. One of UI's primary connections to the MPD is a vandal himself. Tyson Barrett graduated from the University of Idaho in 1996. He worked as a reserve officer until he became a full-time officer in 1997. Barrett worked patrol for 5 years before he became a detective in 2002. He has worked as captain of the campus branch of the Moscow Police Department since 2006. You see how intertwined he is to the University of Idaho? It was a little different, Barrett said, describing the transition to becoming a detective. On patrol, typically your calls are done in 1 or 2 days. As a detective, they can drag on for weeks, sometimes months, like homicides or R's or hate crimes, so it takes a little bit of adjustment. Corporal Casey Green said he joined the MPD at approximately the same time as Barrett. Both officers joined the same reserve group of volunteer service run through the MPD. Hello, we broke down all the volunteer programs and the connections and the keep the negative info down, and you know, everybody ranks up and makes money, and yeah. Intertwined, ladies and gentlemen. Who would have the most interest to give this information to the public? Who would want to protect the University of Idaho so much? Who would want to protect the MPD so much? Who would want to? The same gentleman that we're discussing tonight. Barrett, listen to what what Casey Green said. Barron is extremely competent, extremely reliable. He knows the work inside and out. He has great relationships with the prosecutor's office, campus partners, and people in the community. He's a good resource for the agency in that respect. As head of campus division of MPD, Barrett said he balances his focus between the University of Idaho and Moscow at large. He oversees 2 campus police officers, a narcotic detective, and 3 patrol officers. This dude is, well, decorated within the university and the Moscow Police Department. Barrett mainly works with the Dean of Students, Blaine Eccles, and Vandal Athletics. Blaine Eccles, the one that was always in the press conferences. Why was Blaine Eccles in the press conferences all the time when it wasn't a lead investigator? I don't know. The campus division also provides SA awareness, risk management, and alcohol abuse talks for campus groups. I travel with the Vandal football team. We work all the men and women's homes games, Barrett said. We work a lot of security details, such as Finals Fest. We're at U of I, Idaho bound. Money, money, money. Money, money. Barrett said the police department, especially the campus division, focuses more on community involvement, programming, and outreach than some community members may think. In addition to monitoring campus, 2 officers, Rick Whitmore and Mackenzie Fosberg, monitor the local secondary schools. We want to be approachable, Barrett said. Our biggest goal in education is to prevent crime. Education for those who have committed a crime and are hoping to mitigate that, so safety and education is our big push. Barrett said he remained in Moscow after he graduated because he adored how community-oriented the town is. As an Idaho Falls native, the Palouse was a change from the high mountain desert of his childhood. The transition from the independent-natured Idaho Falls to the tight-knit Moscow community made staying worthwhile for Barrett. Why would you want to leave a situation where you're making all of this money, you're getting all these accolades, you have all these important positions, you're an upstanding member of the community, and in fact, you got the award for being the liaison between the university, the police department, and the families? Wow. No, why would you want to leave? Because you go to New York City and all of a sudden you ain't shit. Why would you want to leave that little ass town? All the community members come downtown, especially during the summertime, Barrett said. There's the farmers market, Vandal Friday downtown, Friday art walk. You don't see a lot of that at places. So Moscow, I think the community members really care about each other. You can't say that in a lot of communities. That's interesting. You should listen to our interview with somebody that was from Moscow. Somebody that went to Christ Church. Somebody that can tell you about how tight-knit it is and how they really care about each other. They really care about you if you go along to get along. If you don't go along to get along, no. They don't really care for you so much. All right. Let me see what else I want to go through. This right here. Rising through the ranks. This is an older article. Rising through the ranks. Campus Division of Moscow Police Department welcomes Captain Tyson Berrett. Got a little bit of James Fry in here too. Police Department, MPD News, Tyson Barrett, University of Idaho, from the members of the Moscow Police Department. Getting to know students and citizens is a vital step in making the community safe. MPD Captain Tyson Barrett, newly appointed captain of the campus division, graduated with a criminal justice degree from the University of Idaho. This was from 2016. What's up, Cherry? What's up, everybody? Thank you for hopping in. If you're just joining, trust me, you're going to want to start from the beginning. After we get through this, it'll make a lot more sense if you're just joining now. MPD Captain Tyson Barrett, newly appointed captain of the campus division, graduated with the criminal justice degree from the University of Idaho. Since served as a reserve officer, patrol officer, detective, and sergeant. This was as of 2016. He has worked in the campus division for a year and a half, has been a captain since January 2015. As captain of the services division, Barrett said he oversaw the records manager, property manager, parking enforcement specialist, the code enforcement officer, and the investigation unit of the department. Why would you want to leave Moscow? Now, as captain of the campus division, the rank up, Barrett said he serves as the liaison between the city and the university, which includes working on student conduct issues, campus conduct, and ways to make campus safer. Hey, Susie, just don't report that. It'll be better in the long run, okay? You know how many people probably heard that? Let's just keep that negative info down, okay? Trust us. My job and my goal is to make my face known to as many people as I can. Yes, shout out again, Caddy. When it comes to making his face known, make your face known, Mr. Barrett. Make your face known. No, they don't. Crystal clear. Not at all. All right, back to this. My job and my goal is to make my face known to as many people as I can. Let them know that if they need anything from the police department, we do have campus police, Barrett said, making sure that they know where we are and that we are a resource for students. Don't even let it get to the Moscow PD. Let's keep that information down. James Fry, the previous captain of the campus division. Round of applause, please, for Mr. James Fry. James Fry, the mentor to Barrett, the previous captain of the campus division, was recently selected as the chief of police. He said former Chief David Duke was one of the people who decided Barrett would be the right person for the campus position. Barrett is a highly motivated individual. He has moved through the ranks, which I think shows a lot about his drive, Fry said. He is a perfectionist in a lot of ways and wants to make sure things are done right. So I think what the university is going to see is that if they're getting somebody who is very professional, very talented, and will hold a high standard. How many of you guys knew that Fry was the previous captain of the campus division? Fry said right now 3 people at the top of the chain of command started as reserve officers, including himself and Captain Barrett, of course. And CJ is broke down the whole rank up, bank up system that you've all had since he went out there in November of 2023, said CJ. I think the volunteer phase of law enforcement tells us a lot about a person, Fry said. If you're willing to do it for free and for the community, it really does give that service characteristic of people. Again, who got the award for the customer service when it came to being the liaison between the university, the Moscow Police Department, and the families of the victims? Oh, yeah, the Champs Award, Captain Tyson Barrett. That's right. Breaking this shit down tonight. I wanted to get out there and meet the students because I know it can be intimidating at times with my badge and gun and authority, Fry said. Right, Fry. People probably thought I'll just keep that to myself. I don't think anybody was intimidated by you, Fry. I'm just saying. His solution was to find a random student of the week, go talk to them, introduce themselves, and explain that officers are really just human beings. Hey, student I never met before. Yes, what's your name? Jimmy? Hi, Jimmy. I just want to let you know that we're just human beings, too. Wow. He ended up designing challenge coins. There's your thumbnail face. He ended up designing challenge coins, which are a strong part of the police department dynamic because they are passed back and forth as tokens of appreciation. We use the quote, legacy through leadership, the go along to get along, education and relationships, meaning that not only with staff, but also with students, because we are trying to leave a legacy through our work at the university, Fry said. So I wanted something that we could give out on special occasions that really represented who the MPD was, but also that tied it to the university. Corporal Casey Green, who works in the Idaho Commons booth, entered the police academy at the same time as Barrett and has worked with him for many years. Green said he is eager to work with him within the campus division. Every Batman needs a Robin. Did I just say Batman? Oh. He always has been an exemplary officer. He's always been very knowledgeable and the kind of person to provide guidance and help you do things correctly that you didn't know of or think about, Green said. Hey, Green, you don't want to do it. You want to do it this way. So no report? Yes. No report. Why no report? Because we keep the negative info down. We still got to report the call, but we keep the negative info down. Guess what happens, Green? What is that, Barrett? It means we make more money. Oh, shit. Officer Mitch Running is also stationed in the Commons booth and is also looking forward to working with Barrett toward the common goal of making the campus a safer place. Batman, Robin, and Tweety Bird all together. It's a very important contract that we have with the university. What's a contract? Oh, yeah, contract involves money. And I imagine he will do a very good job, Running said. As we get into this more and more, do you see where I'm coming from when we started off with the intro? Do you see where I'm coming from when I told you why I felt that the prosecution and the people that are leading the leaks would greenlight it? You start to make sense why when it comes to Dateline and Shane Bishop, he ain't putting it out there unless he gets the green light because he don't have a career after that. Contribution call out to Under 10B. Thank you so much for becoming a member. Also, Under 10B DB gifted 20 memberships. Holy hell. Thank you so much for gifting the membership. And here's a special video for members. Let me pull that up for you. This is the first time. So I went out to 11. I went out to the Queen Road Apartments, the year to the date. Where is that link? Where's that link? This is the first time that I showed up. Raw video. Yeah, right here. So if you are a member, and thank you again, contribution call. Let me throw this up there real quick too for Under 10 DB. Let's throw that up. And thank you so much for that. If you are a member, the first time that I showed up at 1122 King Road, raw video, not very many views on it, trust me. There's 4 parts to it. That's the first part. You can literally hear, you can sense me and Caddy are talking while I'm driving there while it's leading up to it. Oh my gosh, just thinking about that trip, Caddy, every time I think about it, it just makes me ooh. Now, let me see here. Let me get to this, and thank you so much for the memberships. That's awesome. All right, let me pull up something else here. All right, so here's... Uh-oh, is it going to blank out? Hopefully not. So here's him standing outside of the house the morning that the crimes took place. Mr. Barrett. Okay, now when it comes to that morning, I'm going to read this out to you. Moscow Fire Chief Brian Nickerson told the Statesman Monday morning that his department was dispatched to the residence on a medical call just before noon on Sunday. His volunteer department sent an ambulance and a fire engine, which he said is standard for such calls. But none of his team ended up entering the home. We weren't there very long, Nickerson said by phone. The police department was there prior to us arriving. Police responded to a call Sunday afternoon that reported an unconscious individual, according to police news release. The incident occurred on the 1100 block of King Road in Moscow. When officers arrived just before noon, they found all four people passed. Moscow Police Captain Tyson Barrett told the Idaho Statesman Sunday. Barrett said that the four individuals were students at the university, which the school later disclosed in a news release. Barrett said police may release the names of the deceased students Monday, but would need to speak with the prosecuting attorney. As of Sunday, police were still contacting family members before releasing more information to the public. Mr. Barrett is the one that has been saying all of the stuff to the mainstream media, to the families. Who's the one that has the most access? Who's the one that has the most access? Who's the one that has the most availability to all avenues? Who's the one that they're going to trust the most? Why wasn't Tyson Barrett standing up at those news conferences instead of President Green, instead of Blaine Eccles? Why wasn't Tyson Barrett? It's almost like Tyson Barrett was supposed to be an afterthought. Why would Tyson Barrett be an afterthought if Tyson Barrett is the one that got an award the following year after the crime took place? Why was Tyson Barrett not standing up there? Why was Tyson Barrett not on any of these news conferences? Why wasn't Tyson Barrett even really mentioned? Because it was made by his... There's more to get into about Tyson Barrett. There's more to get into, especially when it comes to scandalous activity. We'll just put it that way. Is he this highly decorated officer that is this upstanding member and nobody ever had anything to say and nobody had any complaints to file against Mr. Barrett? You're going to want to wait for that. dropped a video just a couple days ago about the big clue that we found in my footage. If you are a member, thank you again. By the way, we are going to be having our part 2 members only, where we're digging into my footage, looking for the green Elantra and looking for the Dodge Dart. Now, I made the first episode public after we did the members live. During the members live, we found a clue. I put the clue up on the community post. You can have the pictures that I took from my community post, and you can see them for yourself when it comes to what we discovered in that first episode. Why nobody is talking about the Dodge Dart, I still don't know, because you can talk about the cars, you can talk about all the cars that are coming, but the only car that you really need to focus on is the car that's leaving the crime scene. And the car that's leaving the crime scene is not an Elantra. The car that is leaving is a Dodge Dart. That's why I'm saying the real suspect vehicle one is not an Elantra. Isn't it? Is it an Elantra coming in? Yes. Is it an Elantra leaving the scene of the crime? The video that you guys saw on Dateline, that's not an Elantra. That's a Dodge Dart. Episode 1, we already found a Dodge Dart, 1119 King Road, and we still have tons more footage to go over. I'm surprised nobody's still talking about this Dodge Dart, because we can be talking about Hyundai Elantras until the cows come home, because look, we could be talking about all sorts of Hyundai Elantra video. But guess what? What's the most important? The most important is the car that's leaving the crime scene at a high rate of speed. What other one is more important? Now, check this out. This is a retirement. We're almost done here. We got some more to go through in a later show. I'm going to get into the scandalous stuff after this. But this was when he retired. I told you guys he retired in the summer of 2024. July 26, 2024. Today is a momentous day at the Moscow Police Department with the retirement of Captain Tyson Barrett. Captain Barrett started at the MPD in 1995 as a reserve officer before being hired on full-time in 1997. He promoted through the ranks at MPD, serving as firearms, less lethal and chemical weapons instructor. He served as a SWAT entry assistant leader, field training, and bike patrol officer as well. In 2016, he promoted to captain and took the lead of the campus division, where he has since built an incredible relationship with the University of Idaho. In 2012, Captain Barrett received a life-saving award along with 2 other officers for their quick action and administration of CPR, which ultimately revived a man and saved his life. In 2023, he received the City of Moscow's Exceptional External Customer Service Award for the extraordinary work he did as a liaison between the MPD, University of Idaho, and families of the 2022 King Row homicides. Captain Barrett's knowledge, steadfast demeanor, and guidance will be greatly missed at our department, but we are so thankful for his many years of service. Captain Barrett, congratulations. We wish you the absolute best in your retirement and lots of time on the green. Lots of time with green too, right? So December 19th, keep that date in your head. July 26th, keep that date in your head as we go into the future shows. December 10th to December 16th, keep those dates in your head. We went through those December dates. If you just joined, we went through it in the beginning. Now, after we have dug through all of this. Congratulations again, Mr. Tyson Barrett. To our Idaho Farm Bureau hero of the game, Tyson, a 27-year veteran of the Moscow Police Department, served the last 9 years as campus division commander for the University of Idaho, as well as assisting and traveling with Vandal football on road trips. Thank you for your outstanding service. They want to say thank you for the go along to get along. Now, I'm going to end this episode. We'll discuss more of that other in the future. Where is... Hold on. 1 second. There's the Dodge Dart. Why it's a Dodge Dart. Here's the link for this. If you haven't seen it yet, this is going to discuss... this is going to be discussing why the prosecution would greenlight this. Thank you so much. We'll be getting into more. Trust me, I gave you guys the little bow package. We opened it up together. Let me know what you think in the comment section. If you're on replay, drop a comment. Let me know what you think. Please hit the like if you haven't yet. If you're not subscribed, please consider doing so. That way you get notified of any of the lives upcoming. Also, unrestricted full access episodes, whether it's Dateline, commentary, or any of the shows that get shut down on YouTube, you'll always have them over on Twitch. Full access, no restrictions over there on Twitch. And if you are, if you got Amazon Prime, you can use a free sub over there on Twitch. It's just like being a member over here on YouTube. Anytime we do members only lives, we'll be having one coming up here very soon. Anytime we do the members only lives, if you have Amazon Prime, you can literally sub up on Twitch for free. They give you a free sub every month. Amazon owns Twitch, and you can enjoy the members only content through that direction if that better suits you. Thank you all so much. I'm going to play this real quick. This is why they would greenlight all the leaks. Now, when you listen to everything that I broke down tonight, and then you listen to this, I don't know. Who else would be the leak? Shane Bishop, you got your list, buddy. Guess what? I bet you it has Captain Dollinger, or Chief Dollinger. And I bet you it's got Tyson Barrett, but I bet you Tyson Barrett's name is the first on that list, because that's the same guy. To me, is the same one that's been, and I already showed you guys, he was putting out the information from the beginning. You can see it in the articles. He was the one that was between the PD, the university, and the families. Who was the one that was handling all of that information? The guy that was the lead until December 19th, when your Brett Payne, 5 years experience, took over for the highly decorated Barrett. Why would they do this to Barrett? Doesn't make sense, y'all. I love you guys. Appreciate you. Hopefully you have a peaceful, positive evening. And I might be back here in a little bit with some police sim. We'll see. Love you guys. If you're not subbed up to my gaming channel, I do play it over there quite a bit, or some other stuff. I'll drop that link in the chat if you're interested. EvilleCJ TV. Love you guys. This right here, this is low ball. This is dirty. Love you guys. This is deliberate. And it's like I said the last show that I did. I said, you know what? I bet you the person that it was, because I felt it was somebody's job, and I've said it from then. It was somebody's job to put information out there, to just keep putting it out there. And what their job was to keep pushing it out there until they got a hurdle thrown up in front of them. Right? Whenever it was, hey man, just keep putting that info as long as you can. You know you're going to be the fall guy. Dude knows, or lady knows, they were going to be the fall guy from the very beginning. It's your job. Look, you're going to be the fall guy. It's your job to put out the information, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's the same person that's dealing with the Brady Giglio. Hello? Same person as the Brady Giglio? They already fucked shit up. Guess what? You already fucked shit up. You already fucked shit up. So you know what we're going to do? You're just going to be the fall person. You're going to be the one that puts out this information. Because remember, I told you that I think they first found out about somebody in their investigation that had previously fucked up in early December. When we broke down all those little mini video press conference appearances that they did, Chief Frau. Early December is when they did the switch. Yeah, we're switching them out for the holidays. What, bro? What? I'm going to explain that in a second, Moto. Check this out. And thank you. I'll get to that here in a second because I'm going to explain why. So when somebody's like, okay, shit, I'm going to be the fall guy or fall person, whatever. I already fucked shit up. I'm going to be the one that puts information out there as long as I can until whenever that is. Shit, I might get stopped in December 2023. I might get stopped in July of 2023. Hell, baby, I might be able to keep going until the trial starts. And guess what happened? When the Dateline episode came out, and I said this on my show back then, when the Dateline episode came out, that was the final. I made it to the finish line for the person that was putting out the information. They made it through the finish line without having to be stopped from any hurdles throughout this whole time. Because once the Dateline episode came out, guess what? My job was done. I made it, mama. I made it, mama. They were able to this whole time. Now, I want to say contribution call out to Moto. Thank you for the $5 super chat. This is why they would want to sabotage their own case. Because when you're looking at the information and all of it, listen, this isn't the only case that we've covered. This isn't the only case that us as a community is dug into. This isn't. When we're looking at all of the other information that is displayed, that is given, that is documented, that is investigated, we're seeing so much more. That's why we see so many questions when it comes to what we've gotten in this part of where we're at in this process. This is why. How many times have you heard of defense attorneys going, listen, I'm still asking for supplemental requests for discovery? Contribution call out Tammy. Thank you so much for being a member for 10 months. Love that photo too. So when you're thinking about the stuff that we've gotten compared to the other cases, and that's why we question what we question. So when the person they made it to the finish line once the Dateline episode came out, because they were the same person that gave and had been working with Dateline this whole time. You'll hear it from Keith Morrison's words himself, working with Dateline this whole time. The same person from the beginning that has been pushing out information. Their job was to do that. They made it together. They did it. He was able to, they were able to funnel it to chat boards and flood it on social media and flood it everywhere. Now, when it came to the Dateline episode, do you not think that Shane Bishop had to get the okay from the person that was giving him the information to put the episode out there? Let's think about it long and hard. Of course he did. Why? Because his career is on the line. You don't think that law enforcement that is giving a news organization that major information and they go public, you don't think that they could ruin their career? Because we're not just talking regular law enforcement. Think about it. You don't think that certain things can happen to Shane Bishop? Shane Bishop had to get the okay. That's why it was the finish line for the person that was giving out the information from the very beginning. Now, the prosecution, this is where they benefit with something like this happening, and this is why they would want to sabotage their own case. Because, like I said a minute ago, when you're looking at the information compared to other cases and all the stuff that we're questioning, why isn't there more? Why, right? Why isn't there more? We ask those questions because of experience with other cases. So then when we're looking at it, we're going, I listen, I got to wait till trial to see, did he really go by there 23 times, or was he just crossing the border 23 times? We need to see it. There's a lot of speculation either way. That's why we have to wait to trial. But the thing is guess what happens to all the information that gets put out from these leaked sourcing to these organizations and these individuals? Guess what happens? It gets tossed out, right? It would get tossed out, right? Well, look, guys, this is what could happen. Oh, shit, something bad happens to the trial. Kohberger is getting charged, oh, shit, it's not going to happen. He's not going to get charged. Sorry, guys, we had some rogue officer that was putting out information. And trust us, if you would have been able to see the CAS data, if you would have been able to see all the stuff that got tossed out, then you would have seen how guilty Brian Kohberger is. But unfortunately, all you get is little teeny snippets of what we've been getting this whole time. We don't see the homework in the long run. See what I'm saying? So then prosecution can go, well, look, guys, just like they have before, just like the other cases, if you look up Latah County and you look up their prosecution and you go through their different cases, when it comes to cases where they're charging people with humongous felonies, multiple felonies, and they have the same kind of where's the homework evidence, and it gets tossed, you will see they literally go, well, sorry, we had all the evidence. We're sorry that the jury doesn't feel the same way. We're not going to go look for the person that really committed the crime. Go look it up. It happened. That's why I think that they don't really care. And they might have even been okay with letting the information get out the way it's been getting out from the beginning and from the whole time, and allowing this person that they can make a patsy as a rogue agent that is going to say, yeah, I'm the one that said everything, but nobody told me to do it. So then the evidence doesn't get shown in trial. So then when Brian Kohberger gets found not guilty, they can go, sorry, guys, sorry, family, sorry, victim. If we were able to show the evidence that would have been able to be allowed, then you would have seen how guilty he was, because we've been telling you from the beginning, families. We've been telling you from the beginning, public. We have so much. Just wait till trial. Except now they get to prolong that excuse. Listen, we had so much. Unfortunately, it just didn't make it to trial. That's why I feel that the prosecution was cool. Now, that's just my feeling. That's just my vibe. That's just my theory. That's just my tiles flipping that go all matched together. And to me, that's what it's been saying from the beginning. The stuff that I've been saying from the beginning as time has gone on through this case. Oh, man, it seems like this. Oh, man, it seems like this. Now you're putting all those Legos together. And now all of a sudden you see what every little piece that you were put together has built. And that's what this has shown me. It's so unfortunate. And that's why I wake up this morning and I'm like, damn, these poor victims. That's why I'm doing a last minute show today. Middle of the day, I'm like, I can't even hold this in any longer. I got to talk about this. They have destroyed it from the first day, Joker. When I showed you guys the drone video of the DNA dirty gloves, that's before they even walked into the crime scene. Before they even walked into the crime scene, they fucked up. Shane had a list. Listen to the list of people.
And has developed, Shane has a list of people who are on the inside and who are very good sources about what's happened here in Idaho.
A list of people that are on the inside. Wow. Shane. Oh, it ain't going to take very long. It ain't going to take very long.
Okay over there? Is your victim at the hospital? Someone shot there. Alright, the ET doesn't take pictures of the, is the domestic related? She's calling back. We're going to try to give her a call again, and then she just added another phone number to the 13-year-old grandson, who's possibly with the daughter. That was just. 2412. Someone's calling in for the female that are self-medication. You're checking 12, check that one out. 614 10-4.